On camera, she laughed while she badgered her staff. And so all good things must end. And also the Ellen DeGeneres show. Yes, the 83-year-old entertainer just announced that the upcoming 19th season of her show will be its last. Apparently, she created a workplace more toxic than an Amazon warehouse in Chernobyl. Countless allegations surfaced last summer that the show's work environment was rife with harassment and discrimination. Following those charges, Ellen's ratings dropped faster than Kevin Spacey's pants at a boy band pool party.
Ellen DeGeneres' reputation for warmth and cheerfulness was significantly questioned by critics such as Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld. They said that behind the laughter and dancing, a far larger argument was taking on off-camera. Hollywood. Why was there so much fear? And how did Greg get engaged? Critics said that the story was a conversation about corporate politics, public opinion, and celebrity image that went beyond daytime television.
It led to article after article of people being like, Ellen's a bitch. Ellen is a nasty person. And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show. If you saw her, this is not a nice person. So she eventually got canceled, but now she's coming back. She's got a Netflix special. That's the right.
When publicist egos outpaced movie budgets and they aimed for perfect images, Hollywood had a television queen. As status symbols, Ellen DeGeneres flaunted her Emmy Awards, her famous pixie cut, and her polished smile. She danced nonstop on talk show sets, offered gifts that seemed like royal favors, and developed a kind and upbeat public image. For many years, she was regarded by the populace as the queen of kindness. Critics retorted that there was a history of rumors, controversy, and intensifying responses, much as with many Hollywood storylines. Before the story continues, remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the discussion.
It was just the excuse. She is, Emily, I watched her comedy special. It was like a huge pity party. It was about how she was lamenting how her reputation has suffered. She's essentially as popular as a pit bull with monkeypox. But she's like, she's putting this on Trump. Do you think that she's going to be, just everybody's going to love her?
Ellen's public humor, optimism, comedy, and a well-kindness, but in the end, complaints and allegations from former workers exposed a more difficult workplace, undermining that perception. The disparity between her job claims and her on-screen persona became a contentious topic that seriously harmed her image, and as more tales emerged, the public's perception shifted.
I have a question for you on this. This is perfect for you. Because I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of the misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or sexuality.
Yeah.
But she was said to be a nasty biatch, and that's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
So her show got canceled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson, where something happened where Dakota said, oh, I had this birthday party. And Ellen said, well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me. And she said, like, no, I did invite you, Ellen. That's not what happened. And Ellen had blown her off and then tried to play the victim on the set with her. Anyway, it led to article after article of people being like, Ellen's a bitch. Ellen is a nasty person.
The anti-Ellen Megyn Kelly then joined the conversation. While Ellen DeGeneres continued to be identified with a carefully managed image of cheerfulness, Kelly positioned herself as a media truth seeker, penetrating through polished PR illusions. Throughout the story, she provided insightful comments, challenging assumptions, and posing challenging questions. When Ellen's job complaints resurfaced in public discourse, Megyn aggressively investigated the matter and refused to let it go unnoticed. Her remarks kept it front and center, igniting debate and intense feelings among listeners, while others attempted to downplay it as old news.
So Ellen and her wife, Portia, have left their millionaire haven of Montecito for England. Now, they're saying they'll never come back in the wake of Trump's win. Do you think that's the reason why she's leaving?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, Ellen got canceled for real a few years ago from just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a single comment she said or something she did. Just lots of people saying that working for her was a living nightmare and that
The media's response was a little subdued when it was revealed that Ellen DeGeneres could make interns weep. They were just the type of selective rage that critics said is typical in Hollywood. There were neither major shockwaves nor swift, thorough investigations. Megyn Kelly challenged polished PR narratives and raised worries about possible double standards in the handling of crises, arguing that the outcomes may differ depending on the people involved. The public's opinion changed after previous criticism of Ellen's work was brought up once again. The dispute was made worse by Greg Gutfeld's caustic and nasty tone. Fans and critics reacted differently to a louder media cycle that included humor, criticism, and analysis.
I think also
I'm
to
just
admit
like,
your
of
mistakes.
all people on earth to be feeling sorry for herself, Ellen DeGeneres should not be on the list.
She should at least, but make a real apology and do it.
There's no apology. It's just woe is me. I was run out of Hollywood as she speaks from this grandiose stage on Netflix. Hello, you haven't been canceled if you are doing a Netflix special. She got $20 million for the one before this. I'm sure.
Greg Diddens handled in a tactful way in a considerate manner. He asked questions that others avoided, presenting the issue in a dramatic and critical way. He was well known for his caustic, biting criticism of Hollywood culture. He addressed the conversation as a broader critique of media hypocrisy and image making in the workplace rather than concentrating on a specific example. He used humor and sarcasm in his speech to highlight his claim that the public's perception of Ellen did not accurately represent the complaints being handled behind the scenes. While others focused on image and reputation management, Gutfeld expanded the discussion to include how television personalities are seen and protected. Gutfeld continued with a funnier and more powerful critique of the entertainment industry as a whole.
Ellen told the Today Show, home of Matt Lauer, that the bad press actually had nothing to do with her decision. Right, and the Titanic didn't hit an iceberg. It chose to sink.
If it was why I was quitting, I would have not come back this year. I really did think about not coming back because it did, it was devastating. I am a kind person. I am a person who likes to make people happy.
No, the real reason, she says, is it was just too easy. Telling the Hollywood Reporter, quote, when you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged. And as great as this show is, and as fun as it is, it's just not a challenge anymore. Well, if that's true, here's an idea. When your viewership is down 43%, why not consider that the challenge?
This is more aggressive. The place itself seemed to be arsenal. Megyn Kelly questioned the injustice of how celebrity reputations are maintained or challenged and looked at how media coverage affected Ellen DeGeneres' public image. Sarcasm was added by Greg Gutfeld, who chastised Hollywood and entertainment media for their selective narrative and image management. The discussion expanded beyond a single example to encompass a more thorough critique of media framing, celebrity culture, and shifting public opinion, and viewers couldn't agree on whether it was overly critical or instructive.
Let her back in, Rob, because she's a lesbian, she's a leftist, and she didn't hit one of their sacred cows. Nastiness, that's their bread and butter.
Well, I think everyone, I will say, like, the resentment, I think everyone should have a chance for reconciliation. I don't think Jesus exempted anybody. And so I do, while it does, because I have been allowed back in, but I don't hold any grievance and resentment. It's very important. And I would just say for Ellen, the resentment, you have to know, you have to get over resentment to whatever addiction or addictive qualities happen. To get over it, you have to deal with resentment and address it. And then otherwise you're going to fall back into the same.
Megyn Kelly made a clear point when she asked why persons in positions of power or public favor often behave in this manner. She believed that moral public impression, polished charm, and that charm, moral authority, and that charm, Ellen. Greg Gutfeld used the event to critique media framing and Hollywood storytelling, claiming that public perceptions of celebrities often differ according to their influence and image. There are a variety of public perception.
Oh, she was like, well, that's my time. Later, Marks, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then just leave them behind to go.
Yeah, they don't have the choice. They must stay in the hell of Trump. We're out of here. By the way, Walter.
I think we could let the illegal aliens stay if we get enough of Hollywood to self-deport.
Yes. I will take 1,000.
You know? Exactly.
I'll take 1,000 Venezuelan migrants for one share.
Exactly.
Ellen's picture was the main important focal point of responsibility. Greg Gutfeld used comedy to question Hollywood's tendency to protect certain personalities, while Megyn Kelly used a serious evidence-based approach to analyze how public reporting of celebrity job troubles is done. The biggest distinction that was highlighted was between the well-maintained public personas of well-known celebrities and the private accusations they made at work.
If Trump is truly responsible for Ellen's exodus, shouldn't that go down as his greatest achievement in the last 8? I mean, he should get the Nobel Prize.
He's literally going to have a who's who of left. I mean, the entire 80s music catalog is gone. You got Springsteen, Cher, Madonna. I just don't know why they keep showing pictures of Aaron Rodgers with blonde hair.
Using the Ellen DeGeneres situation as a severe cultural critique, Greg Gutfeld used comedy to highlight what he saw as contradictions in Hollywood's presentation of empathy and accountability. Megyn Kelly focused on how the media influences public opinion, reputation, and charges made at work using a direct and analytical manner. Because of the strong internet reactions, the topic of celebrity culture and audience expectations spread beyond a single individual. Over time, the focus shifted from a particular show to altering how the public views entertainment, responsibility, and branding.